How about, no, can't do that. Can't do that. No, can't do that. I can do that. How about that? I know there's no sound, but there will be because I switched it over to my iPhone mic. Okay. That's really strange because everything is perfectly set up on my end. Anyway, glad to have you along with me this evening, my friends. Nice to have you on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. As we get ready to kick off here in just a few minutes, the silent auction for the Trinity Monitor Wild Game Dinner and Auction. The silent auction will kick off tonight as we have our friend Deidre Hurley joining us here shortly. She actually was playing the organ for our service at Trinity earlier in the evening. And that got over, well, it should be getting over just a few minutes from now. She's going to jump on when she gets done. And we will officially kick it off. This is the weekend. This is the big weekend of our Trinity Monitor Wild Game Dinner and Auction. We'll talk about that. We will talk about the fact that the weather has changed. It's a welcome change in my book. We've got some critters who are buying into the fact that spring is just around the corner, including skunks in the road. People say, well, their skunks are out because they're breeding. Okay. I never said the skunks are out now because they want to indicate or be a premonition of spring. The skunks are out now because they're in their breeding season, but their breeding season corresponds with the fact that springtime is just around the corner. Mother Nature is weird that way, isn't it? I posted this over on Facebook or somewhere, and they said, no, the skunks are not out because it's going to be springtime. The skunks are out because it's their mating season. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, Tony, how you doing, buddy? It was nice to see you Saturday as well. You crow hunting fool, you. I'd sure love to get you on the show to talk about crow hunting, Tony. I really would. Will you consider it at least? I know you're not a real public man, but please consider it. Hey, Michelle, we'll see you Saturday night. Eric smelled his first skunk. Field full of deer tonight, getting fat for the Hurleys. Well, how do you know, Scott, that it's going to be the Hurleys who are the successful high bidders? Oh, they probably will. Breeding sea skunks is a sure sign of spring. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Ed says lots of skunk smell yesterday morning, and I thought of you, meaning me. Mike Sills, good morning or good evening. How are you? We won't give away any guns, Art, that are scheduled to go home with you. Hey, Bruce. Jerry saw his first skunk. Lee, good evening. How are you? So let's talk about this. I recorded today. I recorded the first radio show for the month of March. We're getting there. It's coming. Saturday, March 1st. And it's not that this has been an especially hard winter, but the last several winters we've had have been so extraordinarily easy that I got spoiled. And so I think going back to a regular Michigan winter, we weren't used to it. Catch up on some, I saw woodchuck this morning. Jim, woodchuck in Sandhills. Joe says he's got a bonfire going to protest this winter. So ready for spring. George checking in from Cohocton. Good evening, George. Hey, Greg. Roger. You're right, Eric. You're right. That's absolutely the way I feel. I put no stock in the robins returning whatsoever because I saw a flock of robins in my backyard the week before we had the big snowstorm 2 weeks ago. And, you know, some robins never leave. Stupid birds. I don't know why they're our state bird. Many of them leave. I start to put some credence in the skunks in the middle of the road, but you're right. For me, it is when the red-winged blackbirds come back to the pond behind the house. That, when I hear that sound for the first time, I go, oh, that's a Midwestern thing, right? Oh, I hear that and I go, oh, I haven't heard that for a while. So, Elmer, how much snow is on the ground up there in Petoskey now? Good question, Linda. I don't know the answer to that. Jim had some bluebirds flying around today. Evening, Tim. Boat stickers. Yeah, good point. Good point. Angie. Angie from Pizza Sam's in downtown Midland says downtown Midland was sure happy to see the nice weather. And the frogs, when I hear the frogs, yep. There is some ice fishing time left, Roger. Absolutely, there's some good ice left. You better be prepared to get wet, though. And I don't mean because you're going through the ice, I mean the slush on top of the ice, the, the snow that was piled up on top of the ice that's now melted. Yes, but there's still pretty good ice out there. Time to start looking at, keeping an eye on it, though. Evening, James. How are you? Okay, so besides that, the snow, and I cannot believe how much, good evening, Dan. I cannot believe how much snow has died around here. I say snow has died. That was a term my dad always used. Boy, the snow's dying. Oh, the snow's dead. We've lost a lot of snow in the last 3 days. I walked out in the pond the other day just before it started to melt, and there was a foot and a half of snow out there. I go out there now, and you can see green grass. I mean, we've lost a lot of snow. Now, I realize if you're watching from the UP or if you're watching from the northern lower, you think I'm crazy because there's still feet of snow on the ground. But it's we've lost a lot of snow. Linda says steelhead season. Amen to that. Elmer says about 20 inches today up in Petoskey. My brother-in-law Rick was up at his place on Lake Charlevoix yesterday, and maybe it was 2 days ago now, and he said he's never seen so much snow in Michigan. And this was just before the big melt. Um, he said he's only seen more snow than they've got right now at his place in Colorado. I would not trust the ice no matter what. Well, ever, Stephen? Ever? That's a pretty strong statement. I know the Coast Guard used to say no ice is safe. And the funny thing about this, Coast Guard Station Saginaw River was famous for this. They would make the statement, no ice is ever safe. Stay off the ice. And in front of Coast Guard Station Saginaw River, there was 1,000 people ice fishing and 10,000 more on Saginaw Bay. And they're saying no ice is ever safe. Well, obviously, I mean, you can choose not to trust it or not, but obviously, ice can be safe. Love winter, but understand it's a hardship for many. Attend UP Dog Sled Race in Marquette, a must see for all Michiganders. And you know what? We do need winter. You're right, Bill. I'm not a winter lover anymore, but we need winter. We need winter for replenish the lakes, for outdoor recreation, for the economic impact it brings. We need a good old fashioned Michigan winter like we had this year. Jim says that slush will firm up this weekend. This weekend it's supposed to be below freezing. Andrew, TK and Sons picked up 5 of them out today that went through the ice. True. And my son James was on Saginaw Bay today along with thousands of others, and he didn't go through the ice. So ice can be safe. You just got to know what you're doing. In fact, the picture of the big whitefish, the 9-year-old kid holding the big whitefish, was taken by my son James. He was fishing with my son James and Mike Smith of Offshore Account. Hello, Brad. I saw this earlier, Dave, and I'm not sure what I mean. DNR has been warning fishermen about catching sturgeon. Sturgeon season's closed, so why? I think there is a sturgeon fishing season, and it is closed. Craig says, when I see Deidre on Wednesday Night Live, I know spring is just around the corner. Very true. Art Lewis says, hey, congrats on your MUCC award and the speech they've solicited from you. Yeah, isn't that interesting, Art? I am accepting an award from MUCC next week at the convention. Amy Trotter of MUCC was on here last week to talk about that. And then she said, we look forward to your keynote address. And I'm like, keynote address? Steve Wyndham said, yeah. He said, hey, listen, while you're there, can you fill 20 minutes for us? I'm like, well, I can fill 20 minutes in my sleep. So that 20 minutes somehow turned into the keynote address. Can you click it? Okay. Let me send Deidre another link. Invite, copy. Yeah, Deidre's going to join us here. Deidre is going to join us shortly. She was looking for the link that I thought I sent her, but I did not. Did I go out and help my first mate, Tony, forget his lantern he forgot on the ice? No, I didn't know anything about Tony forgetting a lantern on the ice. It is time to start thinking about getting the boat out. Bear grass everywhere in St. Joe. Bear grass everywhere in my place. Otto says where's Otto? Where's Otto? Otto, why can't I bring it? 211 inches in Mansalona as of the 17th. 211. Johnny Bowler was telling me they had something like 300 inches of snow. He's coming down for our Trinity Monitor Wild Game dinner. And he said they're supposed to get like another snowstorm Saturday. He's coming down Friday because he doesn't want to miss it. Yes, Jim, absolutely. Getting snow like we used to, yes. And we have lost a lot in the last couple of days. Deidre, can you hear me? Deidre, can you hear me? Okay, she can. Okay. Give me just a minute, Deidre. We'll bring you in. Okay. Tyler. So I'm over the snow and cold, ready for gobbling turkeys and open water walleye. I'm right there with you, Tyler. I can't wait for turkey season. Oh, the maple. Good point. Freeze thaw, freeze thaw, freeze thaw. Maple syrup will start to flow. In fact, that will be my Outdoor Magazine minute for next week. Maple syrup. Okay, let me talk about a couple things here real quick, and then we'll get back to what we're talking about now. You know, Captain Jim Robleski is probably the smartest guy on here tonight. He said the safest ice is found in a glass of Maker's Mark. Nobody else ever fell through a glass of Maker's Mark, did they? I don't think so. Okay, let me post this again. This is the flyer. Amy will not be at the Trinity Monitor dinner. This is the flyer for our Trinity Monitor Wild Game dinner and auction coming up this Saturday. As you can see, doors open at 4:30, dinner at 6. Surprisingly, we still have a few tickets. Now, if we don't sell out, we're going to just about sell out. So if you want a ticket, you can still get it. Also, and here's the reason Deidre is going to join us in just a minute. Even if you don't plan on being at the event or can't make the event, you can still be a part of things, because coming up in a few minutes, Deidre is going to officially open the silent auction bidding. Our silent auction includes some wonderful items. It includes a walleye fishing trip on Saginaw Bay with Sean Hodges. It includes a $1,000 charter captain's class with John Littlefield. It includes a $550 truck trolley. It includes a beautiful knife from Rapid River. It includes a beautiful knife from the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. We have some wonderful, beautiful items available for bid on the silent auction. We're going to open it up shortly. You don't have to be there, but Deidre is going to tell you how to get involved. In fact, Deidre, you ready? Okay, we're going to bring Deidre in right now. Hey, Deidre, how are you?
Doing well. And you?
I am doing great. Thanks for joining me. How was church tonight?
Awesome, as always.
As always, of
the
course.
WOW praise service just goes to town.
I love that service. I love that. If we could just get Pastor to move it up an hour earlier, I could stay for the whole thing, but I love it. And you do a great job, Deidre.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about the reason you're on here tonight. You're getting ready to officially open the Trinity Monitor silent auction, correct?
Correct. Yes, we have just some amazing items. You were listing some of them before. We thought we had everything all caught up, and we came to our meeting here Sunday night, and the counter in the office here at the school was filled with more items. So our precious volunteers have been busy taking photos and typing up descriptions and hurriedly getting them online. So please, if you don't see something that you like tonight, keep checking back tomorrow and Friday, because there are still items coming in and still getting pictures taken and loaded on.
Where do people check? Where do they go, Deidre?
Okay, so if you haven't already created an online account, the QR code is there, or you can type it in yourself, but Mike told me I have to make a shorter thing for next year because it's kind of long this time. But you can also just email me at trinitymonitor@gmail, and I can send you the link directly. But once you get
Deidre,
created,
hold
you
on a
can
second,
go
Deidre.
in and
Hold on a second, Deidre. Hold on a second. You are breaking up very, very badly. So I'm going to repeat what I think what you're saying because it's not come through very well. The email address is, give that to me again, please.
Trinity Monitor Dinner Auction at Gmail.
Trinity Monitor Dinner Auction at gmail.com. Trinity Monitor Gmail Auction at trinity.com. No, Trinity, say it again, please.
Trinity Monitor Dinner Auction at gmail.com.
Gmail.com. Okay, so you can go to that email address. Deidre will actually answer that and get you signed up. Or I'm looking at the flyer right now, Deidre. How can we use that?
Okay, if you can scan the QR code, that takes you automatically to our platform. And you just have to, you can go in and you can look at the things. If you want to bid, you have to create an online account with your credit card. If you are at the event that night and want to pay with cash or check, we can do that. And then we'll just delete your credit card. But in order to bid, you do need a credit card on file.
So if somebody is not planning on attending the event, but they want to get involved, they can. They just create an online account. They got to put their credit card in there because we got to figure out a way to get paid. And the deadline, this thing ends when?
7 p.m. Saturday night.
7 p.m. Saturday night. And that's firm, folks. That's 7 p.m. Saturday night because that's where we're going to kick off the live auction as well. All right, Deidre, I'm so excited for this year. How about you?
Oh, the people that we have not only volunteering, my subcommittee chairs putting this thing together, the people who have donated, the people who have gone out to businesses asking for donations, it's just phenomenal and it's amazing.
Again, that email address, Trinity Monitor Dinner Auction at gmail.com, Trinity Monitor Dinner Auction at gmail.com. You will get them signed up. Deidre, you have done a wonderful job. Thank you for everything, all your time you put in on this, and I look forward to seeing you Saturday night.
Okay, I'll be there.
Hey, by the way, when does the silent auction start?
As soon as I put my phone down and get on the site and click it open.
All right, so stand by, folks. All right, Deidre, again, thank you. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All righty. So now, basically, our silent auction is live. Give Deidre about probably 2 minutes, and we'll be ready to rock. Okay, let me go back and pick up some of these comments I just missed here. Maple syrup. Thank you, Cliff, for reminding me. Eric just saw the picture of the whitefish. Isn't it a beautiful fish? That's right. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Ralph, everything is fine in my world. In fact, everything is wonderful in my world. So, what are you saying, Ed? That people have been catching sturgeon and mistakenly keeping them. Gotcha. So, thank you for that reminder. Thank you for that heads up. Deidre is getting to be an icon like Art Lewis for sure. Amy will not be at the Trinity dinner. Paul checking in from Southwest Florida, looking forward to ice fishing the Saginaw River this weekend. Have fun. Ed says still lots of snow here, 3 more inches on the way. Good morning, Chad. Good evening, Chad. Craig, I don't know why you can't see the comments. They're posting. I think everybody else can see the comments. Deidre, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Okay, are we good to go? Is it live? Not. Oh, 1 minute. Okay, she said give her a minute yet. Okay, no problem. Linda says, Toro Grosso said this winter snowpack will be great for the lakes and drought conditions we've had the past couple of years. Absolutely. Eric says the only ice that's dangerous in your maker's mark is if you drink too much of it. George, good evening. Mike, how are you? Hey, Jerry. Mickey. Linda's already scoping out the silent auction. There are some wonderful things in the silent auction. Karen, freebie. Karen, hey, Karen, how you doing? Karen is our principal at Trinity Monitor, and she does, honestly, she is just the sweetest, hardest working person you will ever meet. And she does a wonderful job. And she's actually in charge of the wine pull I think it's the wine pull or the bourbon pull. Gotcha, Deidre. Wine pull or the bourbon pull. And it only seems appropriate that we have a Lutheran principal in charge of one of our alcohol pulls. Okay, Deidre has given me the thumbs up. The the silent auction for the Trinity Monitor event is now live. You can go to, I got to pull it up again, and we're going to fix this next year. Trinity Monitor Dinner Auction at gmail.com. You can email Deidre and she will get you connected, or you can go to this this flyer right here, has a website on here. You can scan the QR code. You create an online account. Now you will have to put a credit card in there. It is a secure system. We are not going to charge you for something that you're not a successful bidder on. The auction is live now. When we get off the air, I'm going to check it out myself. There's a couple things I want to bid on. It ends Saturday night at 7. Eric, good evening. How are you? Okay, what are the other things I want to talk about tonight? That was the main thing. I wanted to make sure that we got the official kickoff of the silent auction. Next week's also a special week. We are opening up the reservations for the Wednesday Night Live at the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. Well, next Wednesday is also Ash Wednesday, so that's kind of a big deal too. But we're kicking off for reservations for our event that is the Wednesday after Easter. It's April 23rd. I'm sure we will have a full house for this event because we have not been there in a while. Deidre, I have a question. Can I bring you back in for a minute? Okay. Deidre, here's a question from Jim. If we win an auction item and we're not there to pick it up, how does that work?
If you are not there to pick it up, one of our teachers, Mrs. Kelly Dent, she will be bringing those items back here to the school. She will contact you and see if you can make it to the school to pick it up, or somehow, some way, we will arrange to get it dropped off to you or meet you somewhere. In fact, I even exchanged money one year in the Applebee's parking lot for a Upper Peninsula hunt.
With Ross, with our friend Ross.
Yes, I wasn't going to mention any names, but yes,
I like to bust his chops whenever I can. Ross is not going to be there this year, but we're going to get some of his money anyway, Deidre.
Good.
All right, I'll let you go again. Thank you for that. So, Jim, that answers your question, I think. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Looking forward, Kevin, to seeing you Friday, July 25th for our second annual Mike Avery Outdoors Charity Golf Outing. I'm not ready to let the cat out of the bag on this yet, but we have already had a major sponsor commit to the golf outing. I'm so excited. I want to tell you this so badly, but I can't. Speaking of the golf outing, though, I found out that great minds must think alike because the golf outing is scheduled for Friday, July 25th, and the Angler Quest Owners Tournament is Saturday, July 26th. We were going to stay up north and do a little family golf outing. So if indeed the Angler Quest Tournament is set on that date forever, Kevin, just a little heads up here, maybe we might move the golf outing back to the first Friday in August. Just off the top of your head, Kevin, would you see that as a problem at all? And I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just thinking out loud, floating a trial balloon. Mike Streeter, how are things down in the southern part of the world where you are? Mike Streeter, a guy I've known longer than anybody on here right now. We went to high school. Well, we went to school together. We graduated high school. Linda is already started bidding on the truck trolley, worth every penny. Linda, you might be fighting me on that truck trolley because even though I have one in the back of my truck, I'm going to be bidding on it too. You are more than welcome, Jim, and I appreciate you if you do decide to make some bids. I appreciate you doing that. Captain Jim Robleski, by the way, got his captain's license from John Littlefield. No, it was from Premier Maritime Training, who donated. And again, just yeah, I can check with him too, Kevin. I'm thinking out loud because in those two events, the golf outing and the Angler Quest Owners Tourney, in my world, are both pretty big events, and I don't want them back to back. I would like to have them have a little space between them, a little breathing room between them, so I can enjoy them both and maybe stay up north. What is that on my face right there? And maybe stay up north and do some golfing. Oh, I don't know what that is. Same thing that's here though. It's for my hat, I think. But just a thought, Kevin. Just a thought. Okay. All right. What else? Oh, almost forgot this. I'm going to preface this with I did another event, but it's going to lead into a different topic. I did an event last, and I haven't even checked, Kevin. I haven't even checked with the folks at MUCC to see if it'll work with them either. I did an event last Saturday at Calvary Baptist Church in Midland. Great event, wonderful people. Love the school, love the building, love the church, love the people, love what they're doing there. But as part of that presentation, I was talking about wolves in the Upper Peninsula and then cougars in the Upper Peninsula. And then the conversation turned to wolves and cougars in the Lower Peninsula, northern lower. And I said, I am very skeptical of the numbers of cougars and wolves that people tell me are in the Lower Peninsula. And I am. I'm very skeptical of it. There's no way I believe we have the number of wolves in the Lower Peninsula that people say we do. You know, I hear from people all the time. I was out hunting and I saw a wolf. I am 90% sure you saw a coyote. It might have been a big coyote, but I'm 90% sure you saw a coyote. If we had the number of wolves in the Lower Peninsula that people are trying to convince me that we do, we would have a severe problem and we would know about it. Cougars, I mean, there was that one down by Lansing. I'm talking the four-legged kind, not the two-legged kind. There was that one down by Lansing, so it can happen, yeah, but I don't believe we have a bunch of them. Okay, so at that event, after I did my presentation, I had a group of guys come up to me, really nice guys, honestly, beautiful guys, great guys, and I'm not trying to impugn or besmirch their integrity at all, because I know they firmly believe this to be true. They came up to me and they said, you know, right here in town, and I was in Midland, Calvary Baptist in Midland, right here in town, one of the local courses, Curry Golf Course, which is a beautiful golf course that I play. In fact, I love Curry because that West 9, when a friend of mine, Dr. Kane, owned it before he passed, I used to bow hunt out there. So to be able to play golf now in the same location that we used to bow hunt is pretty cool. So anyway, the guys were telling me, we have cougars right here, Mike. And I said, I don't think so. They said, oh no, we do. They said last summer there was a cougar hanging around Curry Golf Course. Again, four-legged cougar, not two. There was a cougar hanging around Curry Golf Course. In fact, they said that the staff there at Curry cornered that cougar, lion, puma, mountain lion, puma, in one of their abandoned buildings. I said, I'm not trying to be rude, but this sounds like an urban legend to me. First thing Monday morning, I'm on the phone. I call Curry Golf Course. I said, hey, and I talked to the superintendent. I'll give you the email one more time here, Craig. Remind me. So I give you I called the superintendent. I said, here's what I heard. Is there any truth to this? And he laughed and he said, no, absolutely not. There's never been a reported sighting of a cougar here. We've never heard about it. We've never trapped one in any of our buildings. He said, 7 years ago, we did have a bear wandering around. Well, a bear, absolutely, I believe a bear. But it's to the point where, honestly, I would believe in Bigfoot more than I would believe in the sightings of wolves and cougars in the Lower Peninsula. So, exactly, Eric. Eric, you're exactly right. I'll bring that comment up in a minute. Okay, for Craig here, the email for Craig, and I'll just pull it up. Trinity Monitor, pull it up again. Trinity Monitor Dinner Auction at gmail.com. Trinity Monitor Dinner Auction at gmail.com. Trinity Monitor Dinner Auction at gmail.com. And what I was kind of, I don't want to say teasing, but I was talking with Deidre next year. We've got to come up with, like when I say this on the air, when I say, okay, go to the website, it should be like trinitydinner.org, something like that. So we will work on getting that next year, something like that. That's easy to remember. Okay. Good afternoon, Ruben. How are things in Colorado? Eric said, had a coworker argue with me about a coyote. It was a wolf. It was northwest of Heartland. Linda says, impugn and besmirch. Great words, Mike. Well, thank you, Linda. Coming from you, that means a lot. Tim. Hey, Mike, was looking at the DNR website for the license for this year and noticed the combo license had gone from 75 to 113. Now you come back. See, I didn't think they went up there. There is talk. Let me rephrase this. There is some, it's in the government's budget. Oh, by the way, folks, thank you for watching me right now. Your other option was to watch the governor's State of the State address. So I'm not wearing a leather jacket like I'm sure she is. I didn't see it, but I know she's wearing a leather jacket. And her lips are bright red. Mine aren't. So, and she's probably looking for some way to screw the people of Michigan like she did during COVID. Oh, wait, hold on. Did I say that out loud? Sorry, I didn't mean that. Anyway, you're here with me instead of watching the governor. So thank you. Brian, good evening, buddy. How are you? Yes, Mad Jack, you're right. The legislature wanted to increase license fees, but it's also in the governor's budget for next year. In talking with the folks at MUCC, they say that there's not a chance in the world that that's going through, or they don't think so. They don't think it's going to go through. The other thing that is in the legislature right now that they don't think has a chance is the license that would allow people to bait whitetails and elk in the Lower Peninsula. Eric says, who? You know her. You know her. The lady we all know and love. Yeah. Okay. Oh, the lady. Okay. The lady who appointed the new NRC commissioner in, is it Dan or Dale Kildee? It's in Kildee, lifelong politician from Flint. He is now the chairman of the NRC. Jim Ward, how are you? Thank you, Uncle Johnny. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. John says, I always watch, no matter what's on. Okay. All right, we still have some tickets. She's going to fix the damn roads. Emil, I'm glad you're on here. I was talking earlier about next week, which is Ash Wednesday. Next week, we are opening up reservations for our Wednesday Night Live at the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. That event is April 23rd. We are opening up for reservations next Wednesday. Emil, are we doing it during Wednesday Night Live, or how is that going to work? Help me out here. I don't think I'm a better person than the governor. No, I'm not saying that. I just don't believe in the same things that she does. No, I would never. No, nothing political here for me at all. Lumberjack Food and Spirits. So, Emil, when do we open it up? Is it going to be opened up Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, or what? Jim got a nice mess of bluegills today. Again, Emil, I'm just kind of waiting here. When are we going to open up those reservations and how? Because you have to call 989. I don't know. I'll have the number for you then. Anyway, it's next Wednesday. Good evening, Bernie. How are you? Let me tell you who's coming up on the show this week, because I think that's going to take me off on an interesting tangent as well. My first guest this week is Dave Rose. We talk about late season ice fishing and early season open water springtime fishing. I ran into Dave Rose at the Outdoorama. Hadn't seen him for a long time. Said, hey, let's do a... Okay. Emil, let's do it Wednesday morning. Well, I'm not following you, Emil, because you say Wednesday morning, but kick off Wednesday Night Live with a gift. Okay, I got you. Two different things. So reservations will kick off Wednesday morning. Call 989-343-0892, 989-343-0892. If nobody answers, let the phone ring and ring and ring and ring. Eventually, a machine will pick it up, or an answering machine will pick it up. I know that's an old, antiquated term. a voicemail, whatever. We'll pick it up. Leave your name and number and how many people will be in your party. Emil's also saying then, let's kick off Wednesday Night Live with a gift card to the Lumberjack. Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's do it. 989-343-0892. More on that next week. Before I get back into the rundown, Brent, I look forward to seeing you and Tracy. Your tickets will be at the door Saturday night. Jim, 250 degrees day didn't hurt the ice on inland lakes we fished this morning. Still had 12 to 13 inches of ice. Yeah, it's going to be a while. John says it's going to be a while before the ice is gone. It really is. John says, invite Big Gretch to the radio show. We can see how much he supports us Michiganders and sportsmen. I have a policy, John. I have a very strict no politician policy on the radio show. None. No I don't care. Well, if the president called me and said he wanted to be on the show, I might have a hard time turning that one down. But that would be the only one. No politician philosophy. None. And I never break that. And I had the opportunity here this last week. There's a guy running for governor who I actually initially really like, and he's trying to reach the northern Michigan audience. And he wanted to be on my show. And I said, it doesn't matter whether I support you or not. My policy is no politicians on the show. Because if I open that door, it's a slippery slope. And I don't want it. And I have some good friends who are politicians that I respect very, very much, and I think they're doing a wonderful job. But I don't want to open that door. Cliff, will Nick from Michigan Brand Ham be doing a ham for the holidays for Easter? I don't know the answer to that, but I can tell you that one of the prizes for our live auction at the Trinity event is Michigan Brand meat for a year. Michigan Brand products for a year. That's pretty cool, huh? Evening, Michael. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. Michigan Brand products for a year. That's like a $1,200 value. They're giving away every month. They ship off a new batch of product to whoever is the highest bidder on this. They didn't have to do that. I mean, I have so much respect for Nick, the entire Grillo family, and everybody at Michigan Brand Meats. Honestly, I have some of the best partners in the world. They've become my great friends. Going back to the radio show rundown, Dave Rose, then Tom Campbell of Woods and Water News. In the second hour, we do the entire hour, including the Ask Avery segment with Chad Stewart, a biologist for the Michigan DNR. But the conversation starts out with him talking about moose in the UP. He just got back from a very interesting project, study, survey, and it reminded me of the original Moose Lift, where our DNR went to Algonquin Provincial Park in Ontario and captured moose using helicopters and brought them back to Michigan. Fun fact, our DNR traded turkeys for Ontario moose. I think we came out ahead on that one. So they went to the UP. They used helicopters again to locate some of these animals. They tranquilized them. And then researchers, including Chad Stewart, made their way into the animals. And he said there's like 2.5 feet of snow on the ground right now. They made their way into the animals and they collared them. And they're going to do it again next year. And the goal is to finally get a pretty good handle on how many moose we have. Now, will we ever have a moose hunt in Michigan? I doubt it. I can tell you for a fact, because I was there, they told us when they did Moose Lift 1 and 2, that the goal was to have 1,000 animals in the UP by the year 2000, and that we would have a very limited moose hunt. Neither one has happened. And then we talk about whitetails. In fact, Chad actually sticks around to answer a couple of questions. I can tell you, I tell you the gist of both of them. One of the questions was, hey, I shot a couple deer this year and I did the mandatory reporting. And then after the season, I got a survey about what I'd already reported. Why do they do both? And are they trying to catch me inadvertently making a mistake? Will I get in trouble? Chad says, you won't get in trouble. We don't compare the two. They're going to send out fewer surveys next year, but he said they serve two different purposes. The other one, a very good question, down at Detroit Metro Parks. They're thinning out the deer herd down there, but they're doing it at night over bait. And somebody said, well, we can't bait. How come they can bait? If baiting causes CWD, how come they can bait? Chad's response was, when hunters put bait out, it stays out there over a period of time. And when you harvest the animals, you're kind of picking them off willy-nilly, like one here, one there, whatever. He said, the way this harvest works is they put bait out there and they shoot everything that comes into it. So he said they wipe out entire family groups. So they're not as concerned about spreading disease when they wipe out the entire family group. Okay. And then hour 3, another guy by the last name of Stewart, but Al Stewart. You might remember Al. He wrote Time Traveler and Year of the Cat. No, not that Al Stewart. This guy's a retired DNR biologist who is now the director of the Nimrod Education Center at Hillsdale College. Hillsdale's got it going on. And of course, we wrap it all up with wild game chef extraordinaire Dixie Dave Miner. Okay, one more time. There's the flyer. You can still get some tickets, just a few left. And if you can't join us, you can be in on the auction. The auction is now live. The email, if you need help signing up for an online account, is trinitymonitor.dinnerauction@gmail.com. trinitymonitor.dinnerauction@gmail.com. That will put you in touch with Deidre, who was on here with us earlier. She does a wonderful job, as well as Courtney Feinauer, her co-chair, and everybody else involved. Yeah, I just, they're everywhere else. I don't want them on Wednesday Night Live. Eric says, I remember when the DNR talked about a possible moose hunt in 2000. It did come up. Jerry said, what about wolves? Yeah, definitely wolves are a factor. Yes, no doubt about it. I will have a great night, Cliff. All right, so I'm pretty sure, Craig, that there is a mandate that they have to do that.
Oh, my every master of the wild, your stories and laughter keep us beguiled. Every fish that you catch, every heart you embrace brings us closer to nature's grace.
You know what that means. Time to wrap up this edition of Wednesday Night Live. Thank you, Deidre Hurley, for joining me. Hope you can be a part of our Trinity Monitor Wild Game Dinner and Auction, either in person there Saturday night or online. The silent auction is now open. Some great prizes. My name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. My website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. My email address, Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Love to hear from you. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live.